first things first, last night was Max Holloway and Justin Gauthier. Justin Gauthier. I haven't watched the UFC in ages. And I mean this respectfully. It's just UFC became really, really hard to follow after I got married and had kids. They had way too many events. And it's not like the NBA or NFL or any harder or easier. I just haven't been able to follow sports to that same degree that I once did. Hey, Super Doge, man. Kid Don, been loving the content lately. Well, I feel like I cheat because I just use these moments right here and I cut them up into segments, but I appreciate you being around. But what I was saying was I never haven't, like, when you get married, you have kids, you're not able to commit that 10 to 12, 1 a.m. grind sometimes to watch UFC. And UFC, I don't know if you guys feel like this, they went from having like one monthly pay-per-view that was stacked to a bunch of diluted pay-per-views and events like every week, which is great if you're like really, really into the UFC because now you got non-stop UFC stuff to like enjoy. But for me, it marked like the drop-off. Like I just couldn't keep up. And when you can't keep up with UFC, it's hard to like pick right back up because now you don't know who the fighters are and all these young fighters who are like dominating. You're just like, I don't know who he is. And I feel like a big part of fighting and enjoying fighting is knowing the fighter's backstory. Well, it is for me anyways. I don't know if you guys relate to that at all. But so when UFC 300 came around, I didn't really have any feels for it, right? I just kind of like, man, UFC 300, I don't know if I want to watch it. And this is how big of UFC fans we used to be. Growing up, we used to buy every single pay-per-view, me and my buddies. It was like 5 to 10 of us crammed in a room just watching UFCs, and we loved this shit. I got into UFC around UFC 30, and then I think we watched pretty consistently up to about UFC 200. After 200, a lot of it just became kind of a blur. I don't know what was going on. Even when we started approaching 200, I was kind of like, this is getting a little much. But UFC 300 came around, my buddy messaged me, the one I grew up watching UFCs with. Both of us now have like our own homes, have kids, no longer trying to watch it in my parents' basement. And he's like, yo, UFC tonight. And I was like, yo, no. I said yes. Then 5 minutes later, I said, yo, it's late. I ain't coming out. And then I felt kind of like a bitch for saying I ain't coming out. So I was like, no, I'm coming. I'm a man. I ain't gonna let, sleep hold me back. And I'm also kind of a hermit. Ever since, for the last 5 years, I just don't like going out. I feel like I've hit that old age. So I was like, no, I'm coming out. And we went out and we watched UFC 300. And it lived up to the hype. Not gonna lie. Actually, Max Holloway versus Justin Gauthier lived up to the hype. And I guess the Poirier fight did too, but I'm gonna be 100% transparent with you guys. By the time Poirier's fight started, it was closing in on 1 a.m. and I was like, bro, I can't. I'm not able to stay up, so I ditched. I cut. I was like, yo, man, I'm sorry, I gotta go. It's 1 a.m. I gotta get home. I'm afraid of the traffic. I'm afraid of drunk drivers at night. That's my real fear. You don't know the people on these streets, man. So I was like, yo, it's 1 a.m. I just gotta go. And then I get home and I see all these highlights of like Poirier friggin' has one of the greatest knockouts ever. So I was like, shit. That would have been fun to watch, but I don't really regret it because I still got to see the highlights, but it is what it is, man. But yo, this highlight, Gauthier is the only fighter ever to knock down. That's insane. And I was going for Max's fight just because Max Holloway's a Raptors fan. That's like my litmus. Like, do I like Max Holloway? Yeah, he's a streamer. He's a fun guy. I've seen his like content here and there. But more importantly than that, he's relatable because he's a Raptors fan. When he saw the Larry O'Brien trophy, he's like, yo, man, the first thing that comes to mind is Kawhi Leonard. And I was like, shit, how could I ever go against a dude who's a Raptors fan? So, yeah, man. This is sick. And this stat's crazy, right? He was up 4-1, dominating the fight. All he has to do is survive and he wins, stay at distance and cruise his way to victory. Nah, let's lose for 10 seconds straight like a gladiator. Max Holloway's a true, yo. I've seen a lot of knockouts in my life.
And then Max catches him right here.
Boom! Right on the chin. The way he crumpled him, man, that was insane. Gave me Lyoto Machida, Rashad Evans vibes, man. That was insane. Hold on. Someone made a compilation of all fighter reactions. This is insane. We gotta watch this. No. Don't tell me they're frozen. Yeah. I mean, our reaction was pretty similar. We were respectfully loud. We couldn't get too loud because we had kids sleeping upstairs. My buddy's kids were sleeping upstairs, so we got respectfully loud. If you're a parent, you know what that means, right? Loud enough to like exude excitement, but not loud enough that the kid wakes up crying. Oh man, that was fun. Can't believe that Max Holloway's never been knocked down like that though. Rafael Fiziv's reaction to Max Holloway knocking. I don't even know who this guy is, but I'm guessing he's another fighter. This is what I mean, not knowing the fighters, right? Let's see what he says.
You guys are about to see a whole different animal.
Yeah. One of the greatest moments in UFC history.
Without, it's the fight of the year. That was the ultimate holy shit moment of all time. He's got the fight won, and he's in there with one of the most dangerous fucking fighters, and he says, let's do this.
You gotta respect that, the rock and sock and shit.
Holloway just told him.
Let's do this. I like how they got Coleman to give him the belt too. That was dope. I don't know, man. I enjoyed, like, there's very few UFC fights in the recent history in my mind that I kind of pop out like, oh, that was a fun fight that I got to watch live. I guess the last one was Khabib and Conor was kind of fun. That was good. Can't wait till Conor fights at 302. Conor's one of those fighters that I grew up watching and I really enjoy watching, so I guess I'm also excited about that. Sugar Sean, my favorite right now. Sugar Sean's cool, man. I don't got nothing against Sugar Sean. I like Max. This was what I really like about Max, man. Max Holloway's like post. It takes two to tango. It takes two to tango. I couldn't have asked for a better dance partner for UFC 300. It was an honor to share the octagon with Justin Gaethje. I'm saying it like a French guy. I hope I'm saying it right. A true bad motherfucker. Watch your mouth. In every way. Thank you for the opportunity. Shout out to the real ones who was rocking with me. I said it before. Hey, man, I was rocking with you. I'm a real ones. Please. And you know what's cool? He's a COD streamer. He's right in that Twitch mix, man. Not everyone points Max Holloway to the center. Look at this guy pointing the finger. They're saying right in the center. He's like, this is so sick. I love that. Right in the middle. Come. You know who else does that? Nate. Nate Diaz does that. That's why I love Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz is all about, yo, I'm ready to rock him, sock him with you. Or he was. I don't know how he still does it, but let's see this. Alexa Grasso's reaction. Max Holloway's knockout over Witten. Yo, she's nervous. Yo, why is the Spanish call on everything just better, right? I'm guessing this is like the Spanish feed. Like, Spanish soccer calls are sick. Surprised no one has done it yet, but Max Holloway's corner deserves an extreme amount of credit for preparing Max. Every time Justin dipped his head, Max turned to a spinning black kick. He did one of these weird spinning back kicks at like a weird time. I was like, man, this guy's gonna use up all his energy with this shit. That's crazy though. Fighters' reaction times, like he sees him like kind of start dipping and he throws it. Split second, like 10th of a second timing, man. They should give Alex Pereira John Jones 100%, 100%. I would watch that fight because I like John Jones. John, you know what's crazy? And this is why I feel so aged. I'm at this funeral today and I'm seeing a bunch of kids I hadn't seen since they were kids. And now they're all grown up because it's been like 15 years and some of them have their own kids and that's just blowing my mind. John Jones has literally been fighting for as far as I can remember at this point, right? He was fighting at UFC, like, what was his first UFC? I think he was fighting at 100. UFC 100. Brock Lesnar. John Jones. 2009. When was UFC 100? 2009. Yes. So this guy's been going at it, man. John Jones is just deadly overall. His elbows are crazy. It was his elbows that always like stood out to me. his elbows in the clinch, but John Jones is a complete fighter. I've shit on John Jones too. Let's not backtrack, and I'm not trying to be Shinda the reformer. I've shit on John Jones in the past where it's like, you know, is he one of the greatest fighters of all time? I'm like, yeah, I don't know, but he kind of is. I'm not a moron. I know he is. He's still fighting, man. Alex Pereira, John Jones would go hard. I don't know if he can make weight, but that'd be sick. Because he's fighting heavyweight now, right? I didn't see this.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Hey, it was a slip.
Hold on.
A lot of people thought that Justin knocked you down tonight, but the official statistics do not give him a knockdown. So
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Hey, it was a slip. It was a slip.
It's a slip. Nah, that's funny. No, I don't have commitment issues. I keep it 100. I don't backtrack. No, if you were watching my timeline yesterday, I was backtracking like crazy. But yo, this fight was amazing. I hope you guys got a chance to watch it. And I agree with you, super. Alex Pereira, John Jones would be sick. You know what I saw this one Alex Pereira highlight. Let's see if we can find it. Yo, Divas, this is one of my favorite beats you ever made. I'm trying to spell Pereira. Pereira. There we go. This, you guys see this clip? I guess, I don't know Alex that well. Like, I'm not versed in his game. I didn't realize this guy comes out and like shoots the mythical arrow, catches it, snaps it, bring it, and then he dies. You should have avoided the arrow, dodged it. So the best comment in this was he caught that arrow like he caught that uppercut. Like, holy shit. Like, that's such a venomous picture. That's like I just dunked on your shit picture. I don't know how these guys think of this stuff in this moment. Ah, it's pretty cool. I saw this clip. Alex Pereira made Glover eat a towel. Yes. Glover looks pissed. I would have been scared. Oh man. You're fucking Izzy and you're gonna cry back to the hotel because Alex Pereira didn't lose? I wonder what the beef with, I don't know what, I guess these guys got beef. That's crazy. Anyways, UFC 300 was amazing because of Max Holloway and obviously because of Alex Pereira, a fight that I fell asleep before because I'm old. But this fight highlights were pretty sick too. So I'm just glad that UFC is back or bumping, and 302, like you said, it should be fun, man, with Conor back. Hey, I'm looking forward to it. I think my kids are getting older and maybe it's time I dive back into the UFC, start watching everyone's friggin' highlights just to like catch up with the fighters and form opinions on them. I remember Ken Shamrock days. Here's how gaming influences life. I started watching UFC at around UFC 30, but I played the UFC video game before that. Remember UFC had a video game on Dreamcast? The UFC Dreamcast game got me into UFC more or less because I knew who Ken Shamrock was, I knew who Frank Shamrock was. And I remember Frank Shamrock was like OP in that game. And then because I was playing that game, I started, Tito Ortiz. And because of that game, I started watching UFC, obviously. And at that time, UFC, I had to like grab on VHSs and stuff because I didn't have proper internet. But so the reason UFC 30 is kind of where I really started watching UFC is because I was able to, allegedly watch it on the internet thanks to various file transferring means. Nah, I'm going to say I was torrenting UFC 30 and shit. And this is right before Dana White bought it, but this is when like it just started, like torrenting was just popping off. And then once that started, yo, Dana, please don't hate me, man. Look, forgive the thief who watches UFC, because we legit paid for so many UFCs after that. It was insane. Yo, the reality show Ultimate Fighter saved them. Yeah, I saw the whole thing on how Ultimate Fighter and Spike TV. Remember Spike TV? Whatever happened to Spike TV? Spike TV had some crazy ass TV shows. 100 Ways to Die. And I was like, what? But we sat there and watched it. Yo, Ultimate Fighter was sick. Forrest Griffin, man. Forrest Griffin, Rampage was on there. I remember Man, I know. No, but the video game. It was the video game though. It was UFC, the video game on Dreamcast, that really got me into UFC, the broadcast, the spectacle, the fight. So much so I signed up for jiu-jitsu for a little period of time. But this is video games helping the sport, and I hope that they make a decent UFC game. I haven't tried any of the EA ones, but I just remember that was Dreamcast. The THQ one was sick. All right.